I had this friend who used to have a very strong crush on me, but never confessed. It was very obvious to everyone around. We were teenagers, grew apart, dated other people, and made our own lives. He moved to another state and has a long-term girlfriend, and I have been married to my husband for almost 6 years now, with 2 beautiful babies, and I'm currently pregnant. My friend, or former friend, I should say, and I barely talk. The last time we had a conversation was when my youngest was born, and he texted me saying, "Congratulations." I replied with, "Thanks," and that was literally it. My husband knows about him and the crush he had on me. They've met because we are part of the same group of friends, and we've met his girlfriend too. There's no problem with that. I don't reach out to him. All of our conversations before the last one were initiated by him, and they're always like, "Hello, how are you?" "Good, and you?" And that's it. I don't always reply. My husband's family owns a small coffee shop, and my former friend knows about it. I spend part of my afternoons there while I wait for my daughter to finish her activities. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law are often there, and my 3-year-old son and I stay with them for a couple of hours. So last Friday, I was surprised to find my former friend and his girlfriend at the coffee shop. They had rented a space there for a week since he came back to our city to do some photography and video work. He's a visual artist. Part of his team was with them. It was weird, but not a big deal. We crossed paths at the shop, and we all greeted each other. They didn't know I was pregnant, and he looked kind of shocked, to be honest, which was weird and made me uncomfortable because he started acting as if he was nervous. They hadn't met my son before. This was the first time they saw him, and although he didn't really pay much attention to him, his girlfriend did. Honestly, it all made me feel really, really uneasy, especially when she started staring at my son so much that it gave me chills. My sister-in-law noticed it too, without even knowing who she was. I was texting my husband about it and decided to leave the place. My husband and I talked about it that night. He tried to give a logical explanation. Said it was odd, but maybe he chose the coffee shop because it felt familiar. And he said maybe the girlfriend wants to have kids herself, which is why she was staring so much. Anyway, I decided not to go back until they left the coffee shop for good. They rented it for an entire week. He said he could ask his mom to kick them out, but I didn't want to because it wouldn't be fair to her business. That night, she tried to contact my husband through the coffee shop's Instagram, asking if he was sure our son was really his. That was literally the only text she sent. "Are you really sure that baby is yours?" The text was sent around 2 to 3 a.m. A bit later she wrote, "He doesn't look at all like you." So it seems like this woman started spiraling, thinking that my husband's and my son is actually her boyfriend's. She described how our baby's hair is curly and light, but he has dark and straight hair. My natural hair is curly and light. He's my baby too. My husband has no access to the shop's account, so the next day we were woken up by a call from my sister-in-law informing him about this. My husband is completely sure I never cheated on him because I never cheated on him. Look, we weren't even in the country when our son was conceived. My husband was sent out of the country for work for a few months, and we all went with him. This is nuts. She said that 3 years ago, the former friend traveled to our city alone, and she now understands why. I also got some texts from my former friend asking if I had told something to his girlfriend, like he was accusing me of something. Accusing me of what? Tell her what? At this point, I just gave my phone to my husband so he could deal with them. I also started receiving very nasty texts and voice notes from her, calling me horrible things. I wanted to just block both of them, but my husband thought it was better to keep the messages in case we needed to get the police involved. On the other hand, my husband replied to her first message and told her he is 100% sure our son is his and that she should take her insecurities elsewhere. She asked if we had done a paternity test, and he said we didn't need to. She's now demanding we do a paternity test if we have nothing to fear. Direct texts from her addressed to me have decreased. I'm staying locked in the house with the kids because we're afraid this woman might do something, as she seems unhinged. Of course, they weren't allowed back at the coffee shop, My mother-in-law also refunded their money because she doesn't want more problems and is beyond angry too. This is also so embarrassing. I can't stop crying. I don't feel in physical danger because they don't know where we live, but I am so full of rage that I can't stop crying. I know this stress is not good for the baby I'm carrying. This morning, my former friend called me. My husband was still at home, so he answered the call. He said his girlfriend does not believe anything he says and practically begged me to please do a paternity test so she can calm down. I already blocked them both. She's now using other accounts to comment on the coffee shop Instagram, offending me, saying that our baby isn't a fair baby and I should be ashamed. At this point, I am not even interested in making her understand. I just want her to stop. Some comments. Comment 1. She sounds unhinged and you need to put a restraining order on her. She isn't stopping and you need to take care of you and your family. You do not want her to escalate if she doesn't get the attention response that she wants. Original poster responded. So, my sister-in-law came to visit this evening. The girlfriend showed up at the coffee shop this afternoon. She was alone. She was calm and was looking for me, said she only wants to know my version of how things happened, whatever that means. She's absolutely sure our baby boy is her boyfriend's son. All this makes me want to throw up. She was escorted out and was told she's not welcome there anymore. My sister-in-law is meeting her lawyer tomorrow, and my husband will also talk to one tomorrow. Our parents will help us with the expenses, so we don't have to stress about money and our upcoming baby. They all are alarmed and concerned. After reading some of your comments, we decided to unblock them. We just won't engage if they try to contact us. They are still blocked on the shop page, and that will remain the same. I silenced my notifications, and my husband will check my messages after work in case there's something. This is to help me avoid stress. I've had a very healthy pregnancy so far, and we want to keep it this way. Your comments have been helpful, and we thank you. Comment 2. This sounds a lot like he told her a different version of events. If she is looking for your version of how things happened, he definitely told her something and put this idea in her info. I wonder if the friend overly inflated your relationship to make the girlfriend react so viscerally. That over-the-top reaction either means the girlfriend is seriously mentally disturbed or the friend has lied. I would recommend contacting an attorney for cease and desist and contacting the police for harassment. The ex-friend has a lot of nerve asking for a paternity test. What an asshole, he created this mess. Original poster responded. This is not the first comment suggesting that the ex-friend has lied to his girlfriend. I just don't really get what type of lies could have led her to become this crazy. Or why would he lie? My husband believes she knows about the crush and is jealous, and she just exploded in her insecurities. I can't rationalize it, it's just so messed up. My husband is talking to an attorney tomorrow to see what we can do. They were staying just for 1 week in the city, but that's a lot of time under the circumstances. Update 2 days later, as my sister-in-law's lawyer warned us, damn, hit the fan pretty quickly. They received 2 cease and desist letters, one from our in-laws' business and one from us. These were written by my sister-in-law's lawyer and delivered the same day, yesterday, as an emergency matter. I knew they were staying with one of our friends. As I mentioned in the comments on my last post, my husband met with a lawyer today. He will take our case and help us out. He also warned my husband that the girlfriend might get even crazier when she finds out we're taking legal action against them, and advised him to be ready for what might be coming. Until this point, my husband was a bit scared she might try to do something to our son or me. But deep down, he didn't believe she was capable of causing us physical harm, until now. At first, we talked about me and the kids staying locked at home until they go back to their hometown, but then we decided to keep our routines, with slight changes, mostly because our kids don't deserve to suffer the consequences of this woman's actions. Tuesday was all right and very calm, but today, I was driving out of the garage to take our daughter to her dance lesson when the girlfriend crossed my path. I almost ran over her because I didn't see her. She wasn't screaming, but she was like, "Stop, stop, stop, stop." I did scream, sorry for my little ones, but I couldn't help it. I froze, because what the hell was she doing there? How the hell did she find out where we live? Our toddler was like, yeah, whatever, but our daughter was terrified. The girlfriend moved to my side of the car, and I think she wanted to talk, but I really didn't pay attention and couldn't hear her because Moana was playing in the radio, my daughter was crying, my son was starting to freak out, and I just kept driving in reverse to get the hell out of there. Now I'm thinking about a bunch of things I could have done, but at the moment, it was all chaotic, and I just wanted to run away. I called the police when we were far from the house and went back a few minutes later. I was shaking. Then I called my husband, and I took our daughter to the rest of her classes so she could be distracted. It worked for her, but not for me. Jesus Christ. At least in the studio, we were safe and surrounded by people. I asked our mutual friends if they had given her or him our address, but everyone swears on their lives that they didn't. Do I believe them? Yesterday, they had a reunion to which my husband and I were invited, but we refused to go because it was meant to catch up with the former friend and his girlfriend. She didn't show up, and our mutual friends told me the atmosphere was weird, to say the least. According to what they said, the former friend asked if I was coming, didn't ask about my husband, and kept discreetly bringing me up throughout the night. He only wanted to talk about this mess, asked if I was mad, and dared to say things could go back to normal if I were to do the test. He then proceeded to insult my husband, saying he was controlling me. Now listen, friends said maybe they misunderstood, but they think he implied my son could be his. I want to throw up. They shut him down because he was upsetting everyone and told him he was being lame, or so they say. That's what happened. So, the reunion ended earlier than expected. We weren't there, but I am angry. My husband is extremely angry, saying if he sees him, he's going to beat the S out of him. I'm extremely worried for our son now. One of my female friends told me the girlfriend texted her, asking if the former friend was actually at the reunion with them, and requested proof, to which my friend refused to send anything. I now realize it was around the same time she was messaging us on social media, insulting me and telling my husband how she was sure her boyfriend was banging me. I can't deal with this level of disrespect. Mind you, I was in my pajamas, lying on the sofa like a couch potato, watching TV with my husband at that moment, so I made jokes on her. It was hard for my husband not to reply, but we are following the lawyer's instructions. We will proceed to sue her for defamation. It is very easy to prove our son was conceived when we were out of the country, but if needed, we'll do the paternity test, only if requested by the court or if it helps to fix this sooner. We will try again to get one tomorrow, and after the girlfriend showed up at our house and we filed the police report, our lawyer says we will get it for sure as an emergency resource. Legally, she can't visit the coffee shop either. We're staying at my sister-in-law's place tonight. None of my friends know we're here, and they don't even know where she lives. The kids are all right. They know something is going on, but they seem to be at peace. Our daughter was back to normal after her dance lessons. She is excited because she gets to have a sleepover with her cousin. Our son was mad because he misses his bed. Yeah, buddy, I'm not buying it. It's the same bed where it's so hard to put him down, lol. He gets to sleep with mom and dad tonight, though I don't think I'll be able to sleep. My husband is out installing a Ring camera at our house, just in case she, he, or both show up. His dad is helping him, so he's not alone, but I will feel more at peace when he comes back to us. We decided I'm staying here with our son tomorrow. I work from home, so it's not a problem for me. My husband will pick up our daughter from school. I'm not scared anymore, but I really am. I'm mostly very angry at both of them, but I am remaining calm for my baby. I'm just focusing on the fact that we are safe at the moment, and that's working to ease my mind. Once my husband gets back to us, I'll be totally at peace. Right now, all I want to do is cry and be with my husband and our kids. My sister-in-law, mother-in-law, and my mom keep telling me it's like a stress release, and hormones are making it way worse for me. It's Wednesday. They're supposed to leave on Friday or Saturday. I don't know, but during this weekend, or that's what we assume. Not having them physically near us will be a great relief. I just want this to end. Some relevant comments. Comment 1. When I read your first post, I could see she was only going to escalate. You need to be very, very careful. She obviously has mental health issues, and a restraining order may just make her madder. Not that you shouldn't get one. You need to continue to take this seriously. It sucks to have to put your life on hold for something that isn't your fault, but you may need to in order to protect yourself and your family. Original poster responded, "Yes, that's what the two lawyers told my husband. And that's why we're staying at my sister-in-law's house, and I'm not going out with our son. For now, our daughter is leaving the house only to go to school, and my husband fixed his schedule so he can be the one taking her and picking her up. School is safe, and the principal and teachers know there's a situation, but if we sense anything, she stays locked at sister-in-law's house with me. I'm not staying alone with our kids either. Sister-in-law or mother-in-law will be with me until my husband comes back from work and he will try to leave earlier. Yes, it sucks, but I prefer this if it means we're safe, and I'm thankful my sister-in-law is giving us a place to stay." Comment 2. If you haven't already, take photos of them to the school and explain that under no circumstances are these two to have contact with the kids or any details about the kids. The higher-ups in the school should have at least a basic outline of the situation just in case they try something. Original poster responded, "Thanks for the advice. Right now, nothing is too much under the circumstances. I am sure they would never let her go with someone who is not listed in her file. At the beginning of each school year, we have to provide the information and a picture of whoever can pick her up. It's us and her grandparents. It's not usual, but sometimes one of her grandmas will pick her up. There was one time when my mother-in-law was supposed to pick her up, but couldn't at the moment, so father-in-law did it instead. No big deal. I got a call from the office because, even though he was in the system and his identity matched their files, it was odd for them since they had never seen him in person before. They called me to confirm that my father-in-law was supposed to pick her up. He told us that when she was called, they casually asked her who he was, like to corroborate. Father-in-law said he was never going to pick her up again after that experience. I really trust they would never ever let her go with a stranger. I informed them that someone is stalking and harassing us, and that said person is possibly after our son. They took out grandparents from the file, so now it's only my husband, or me. Their playground is in the middle of the school, and there's no view from the street or to the street, which gives us some relief." Comment 3. Yeah, I'm a school secretary. We wouldn't call a kid down anyway for someone not on their file. But these are exactly the sort of situations I wish people understood when they were screaming at me for not letting their kids sit and wait for them in the front office. You don't know the kinds of situations going on in people's lives that wind up playing out there. Definitely make sure they have names and photos at school. If they have a heads up, they'll be able to keep them out of the building entirely and alert you and the police. Been there. Original poster responded, "They have the names and photos, and for the moment, they actually decided to remove her grandparents from the list of authorized people who can pick her up. To make it short, I guess. I also warned them about the situation, and they are on alert." Comment 4. That is terrifying. I would suddenly develop a passion for baseball and invest in a nice baseball bat, baseball, and baseball glove. And I would carry them everywhere, the glove and the ball in a backpack, and the bat. Don't forget the bat. You can't play baseball without it. Original poster responded, "My husband gave me pepper spray as a gift. I'm telling him I now love baseball."